All right, so we continue new lessons. In the new lesson, uh, the notes section tutorial, the notes which I sent it to you, the title is, the lesson title is Histological Structures of Pancreas. Histological Structures of Pancreas is the title. Structure of pancreas. Okay, so just to revise again, what is the role of pancreas? I will use the short note. In this short note, we have learned pancreas is very important because uh, pancreas secrete enzymes we learned previously. Lipase, amylase, trypsin, chymotrypsin are the four enzymes: amylase, lipase, and trypsin, chymotrypsin. And also nucleases to digest nucleotide. It also produces nucleases, and for regulation, bicarbonate ion also secrete under the influence of hormone secretin. Right? Again, pancreas secrete four hormones: amylase, lipase, trypsin, chymotrypsin, and nucleases, deoxyribonucleases and ribonucleases, to break down the nucleotide from the DNA molecule. DNA molecule break into nucleotide. And bicarbonate ions to neutralize the acidic chyme coming from the stomach. So that is the main role of pancreas. In addition, there is another very important role of pancreas. We learn it under the new lesson. Okay. So function: four enzymes: lipase, amylase, trypsin and chymotrypsin, and nucleases, deoxyribonucleases and ribonucleases for DNA and RNA breakdown, and bicarbonate ion for neutralization of acidic environment. Okay, so we see how it uh, gross appearance. Gross appearance means not microscopic appearance. How is it? How we can see if we look by the eye? It is something like this: a long, a leaf-like structure, probably a this the neprolepis. The leaf is something like this actually. So it's look like a plant leaf, and this one ended up in a tube like this. So this tube is called pancreatic duct, and the pancreatic duct is also connected with a bile duct which is coming from the liver, and it's going like this. It's coming from gallbladder and from the liver. So bile is coming from the liver, and then it is joined with the hepatic duct. Hepatic is a liver to make this hepatopancreatic duct, and then it ended up in the duodenum. So this is ended up in the duodenum. Another thing is this pancreas is also very rich in its blood supply. So it has a good blood supply, and uh, we are not learning about the blood vessels of the pancreas, but it get a very good blood supply. So this is the artery and the vein, right? So artery bring the blood to the pancreas, and the vein take blood away from the pancreas. Okay, clear. Now this is the gross appearance. When we look by our eye, we can see a long leaf-like structure, pancreas, and it has a big vessel pancreatic duct, which is connected with the hepatic duct to make hepatopancreatic duct, and ended up in the duodenum. So this is the gross structure of the pancreas. Okay, now we're going to learn on the surface how it looks like. The surface has very tiny divisions like this. So it has a very tiny divisions like this. So this is visible even to the naked eye. We can see this kind of appearance like this. Right? So let's enlarge. So what we can do, we take a small section from this place, and then we try to draw it bigger. So if we try to draw it bigger, we can find a collection of, which is a little bit similar to the cuboidal shaped cells like this. And this is the epithelial cells lining the structure. Right. Now this is a one structure, and we can find many structures like this. Right. So I make the collection now. One and another one. It's like a bunch of grapes, similar to that. Like this. So we have a several collection like a bunch of grapes like this, and this collection of cells is called acina. That's called acina cells or acina, right? So one unit, if you take one unit, uh, Let's take only one unit. This is acinus. So one unit is called acinus, and when it make a lot of things, it is actually called a lobule, right? So acinus cells, this is acinus cells, and this part is called lobule. One lobule. So acinus is the collection of cells. These are acinus cells, and then one lobule. One lobule is collection of acinus. Collection of acinus. Okay, when they they collect together, they make one common duct. This duct is called intercalated duct. And now many lobules, not one, many lobules connect with intercalated duct to a common duct called interlobular duct. And interlobular duct finally connect to the pancreatic duct, the big pancreatic duct. Right. This is one acinus. This is another acinus. This is another acinus. This is another acinus. There are several acinus collect together to make the lobule. Then a lobule join with the intercalated duct. Intercalated duct connect to the interlobular duct. Interlobular duct connect to the pancreatic duct. So the fluid enzymes which produced from this place, like enzymes, I just write E for enzymes. So these just give me 1 second, some problem with this device. Okay. So enzymes secreted from these cells can move this direction and to the pancreatic duct and to the duodenum. And you can also notice the area, this area. So they are responsible to secrete bicarbonate ion. So acinus cells make the enzymes, and this area bicarbonate ions, produce bicarbonate ions. So these enzymes are lipase, trypsin, chymotrypsin, amylase, and nucleases. And bicarbonate ions also produce under the influence of secretin is the hormone. This hormone control bicarbonate ion production. Okay, now did you understand the basic a structure of the pancreas. So this is the way it looks, and when you look very closely, it has a small lobules, many divisions called lobules. Lobules are made by collection of acinus. So this acinus drain through this duct to the pancreatic duct. Okay. There is another area, very important area, we can find like this, and it is again collection of cells. So this is a collection of cells, but they are not connected with pancreatic duct. It is not connected with the pancreatic duct. Enzyme secreting. So enzyme secreting. So we learned it previously. Here are the enzymes produced by the pancreas: trypsin, chymotrypsin, lipase, amylase, nucleases, and bicarbonate ions. So you can look the previous notes, the pancreatic enzymes. Okay, now what is this red color area? And the red color area has direct contact with the with the blood vessels called capillaries. This is the small blood vessel called capillary. So what is inside the capillary is the blood. Okay, so this area, red color area, is yes, pancreas also secrete bicarbonate ions under the influence of hormone secretin. So pancreas secrete bicarbonate ion under the influence of secretin. Now, previously we have learned 4 enzymes plus nucleases for DNA and RNA and bicarbonate. Trypsin, chymotrypsin, amylase, lipase, 4 enzymes plus nucleases. So altogether 5 enzymes. 6th one is not enzyme, bicarbonate ions. So 6th one is bicarbonate ion. Now all enzymes and bicarbonate ions secrete to pancreatic duct and then to the duodenum. Right, so here all 5 enzymes and the bicarbonate now moving from this pancreatic duct, hepatopancreatic duct, and to the duodenum. So this is the exocrine part of the pancreas. Exocrine. So exocrine mean, let's say chemicals, whatever bicarbonate or chemicals secrete to uh, duct, secrete chemicals to the duct. Specific example, enzyme secrete to duodenum by the pancreas is called exocrine. Now, opposite of exocrine is endocrine. The word endocrine. Endocrine. Chemicals secrete to the blood. Chemicals secrete to the blood. So I'm going to draw it here. If this is the chemical, this chemical secrete into the blood. So understand different endocrine and exocrine. Exocrine's chemicals, example enzymes secrete into the duodenum is a exocrine. Endocrine is chemical secrete to the blood and travel with blood to a distance place for its action, right? So we can write endocrine glands secrete chemicals. These chemicals we can specify here hormones. Chemicals are hormones secreted by the cells, move to the blood, travel with the blood to the distant place for its action. So this is then the endocrine part of the pancreas, and this is exocrine parts of the pancreas. So enzyme, you can say enzyme related to the duodenum. Enzyme secreted duodenum is the endocrine functions. Chemicals secrete to the duct, not to the blood. But endocrine is very importantly this word blood. So it secrete to blood. So endocrine always secrete into the blood. Okay, then what is this structure? So this structure of the pancreas which secrete hormone, it is called islet. That's islet. This one is called islets of Langerhans. So just make it bigger. Okay, too big. Now here, the pancreas has a specialized area with cells, and this area is called islet of Langerhans, and it produces chemicals, hormones secrete into the blood, and the name is islet of Langerhans. Langerhans is the name of a person who first described this structure. Islet is kind of a island, like a special place within the lobules, specialized area called islet of Langerhans. Okay, now, so what are the hormones produced by islet of Langerhans? There are two hormones. Hormone number one, insulin. Hormone number two, glucagon. Insulin and glucagon. What is the function of insulin? Insulin decrease blood glucose. glucagon increase blood glucose. So this is the function of these two hormones. Very important. Regulation of glucose of human body is done by this insulin and glucagon. Insulin decrease glucose level, glucagon increase blood glucose level. Okay, now how it does, I mean, we can look a little bit later, for this a little bit important for many aspects, insulin and glucagon. But now you should have a clear idea of the pancreas, how it looks like, and what is its role, right? So, acina, lobules, pancreatic duct, islet of Langerhans produce insulin and glucagon. So, any questions? Okay, then we look a real pancreas, how it looks like and its structure. Uh, okay, now we have better diagrams. This is how pancreas look like. It has a tiny divisions called lobule, right? This is one lobule. Example, this is a one lobule, this is a one lobule, and this is a one lobule like that. All lobules connected finally to this pancreatic duct through these intercalated and interlobular ducts. And then the bile duct, hepatic duct is coming from this way, and then they connected to the duodenum through this hepatopancreatic duct. If we look structure of the lobule microscopically like this, on the microscope, you can still visualize the cells like this. So these are the acina cells, and this is the acinus. This is the acinus. And if we take many acinus like this make the lobule. So collection of acinus make the lobules. And here how it again looks like. So this is the acinus cells, and this one unit is called acinus. Then the collection of acinus make the lobule, and then everything is finally ended up in the pancreatic duct. So this is connected now to the pancreatic duct, and we can also find uh, the islet of Langerhans between some collection of acinus. We can find this structure together with the small blood vessel called capillary. So this represent endocrine. Islet of Langerhans represent endocrine parts of the pancreas. Lobules represent exocrine function, that is enzymes, and this one is a glucagon and insulin hormone. Okay, I hope this is clear now. Just to finish pancreas, we will little bit look the role of insulin and glucagon because it is important even in the future lessons. It is important how it regulate the glucose level. Okay, right. Let's see like this. So we have learned the digestion. So after digestion, what happened? Blood concentration of some of the digestive products: glycerol, fatty acid, glucose, glycerol, fatty acid, glucose, vitamins. uh, so all these things increase in the concentration. Now after digestion of food, blood glucose level increase. Blood glucose level increase after digestion. Now, almost all cells of the body depend on glucose. Glucose is the main energy source of the body. Glucose is the main energy source of the body. Then the glucose has two pathways. This glucose directly going to the cells, and some of the glucose stay in the liver. And the glucose molecule join together to produce glycogen. So you have learned previously glycogen is the storage carbohydrate of animals. Glycogen is the storage carbohydrate of animals, stored carbohydrate in animals. The storage carbohydrate storage is glycogen. And when glucose molecule is outside of the cell, this glucose molecule cannot enter into this cell, right? So there are cells, let's say two cells. This cell A and cell B. Now cell B has no issues. Glucose can go into the cell. After that, it used to produce energy. So you have learned cellular respiration. The glucose enter into glycolysis, link reaction, Krebs cycle, and then it produces energy. But many cells, it is not possible this glucose molecule to go in. I will tell you why some cells can easily take glucose, because they are, we can consider as VIP type of cells, very important person like cells. Example, nerve cell. Because if nerve cell die without glucose, then the person is dying, the brain is dying. But other cells like muscle cells and adipose cells, so you have learned adipose tissues, you learn tissues. These cells need insulin help. Now insulin come, then insulin bind to these cells, then insulin bring a transporter that glucose can enter. Insulin bind to the cell and it bring this transporter to the cell surface. Then the glucose can enter. So most of the cells, they need insulin help. That's what I told you. After meal, insulin reduce the blood glucose level. Insulin decrease blood glucose level. Then person blood glucose level become normal. Every cell they take glucose, they can produce energy. Okay, now what is the role of glucagon? Right? So we also learn under this glucagon can increase blood glucose level. Right? So just to summarize the insulin action, when the blood glucose level increase after meal, some of them stored as glycogen in the liver and some used by the cells for energy production by cellular respiration. And many cells, they need insulin to push glucose into the cells because this transporter bringing to the cell surface is done by the insulin. But some cells, transporter is already there and they can quickly go into the cells. Example, nerve cells and some other cells like red blood cells. But muscle cell and adipose cells, they need insulin. So you have heard about the disease called diabetes. So if person has the problem with insulin, pancreas reduce insulin level, or insulin can't bind to the cell. Both can happen. Insulin cannot bind to the cell, or pancreas